Welcome to Mars.
All right, welcome back to Mars Radio. My next guest goes by the name of 24 Tae, and he is an artist and entrepreneur. Tae, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
My name Tae Full Interview. I'm from East Oakland.
Okay, so East Oakland, that's born and raised?
No, I was born in Gary, Indiana. Came out here when I was 2 years old. Been out here for 45 years, so Oakland all I know.
Okay, so born in Indiana, came to Oakland when you were 2, and then stayed out here, right?
Yep.
So you've only been back to Indiana for like visiting and family purposes and stuff like that?
That's it.
Okay, so what comes to mind when you think of Oakland, California?
City of dope.
City of dope. So if you were to tell Oakland, if you were to explain how Oakland is to the average person that's never been, what would you tell them?
Be careful when you come here, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what you're going to get into. It's a lot of bicker going on. There's a lot of youngsters around here with the mask on. That's crazy. So I just tell you, it's a lot of good places in Oakland. You can go chill. You know what I'm saying? Like my boy PB going. He got videos of where he go, right? And there's a lot of places you can go in Oakland and chill, right? So them the places you need to seek out. The places like that, man. Stay away from the hood, man.
Stay with the touristy shit. Huh?
Yes, please, because and then be careful over there too. Make sure you take out when you first come to Oakland. Your first thing you need to do is go to a hotel somewhere and put up all your stuff. Don't ride around with it in the car. Okay, be safe, because they bipping.
Because they're bipping, and that's real.
That's real talk.
Okay. You ever got bipped?
Hell yeah, I got bipped. I got bipped a couple times.
Damn. And you live here, and you.
Right, I live right here, man. They still got me.
Damn. Okay. All right, do you have any memories about Gary, Indiana?
Going back?
Just from like returning and visiting and stuff? Yeah. Obviously you were too little. Yeah. All right, tell me about growing up in Oakland. Did you grow up with both parents?
My daddy died when I was 6 years old, so then then my mama finished raising me, and then she ended up getting a stepdad when I was like 10, 11 or something like that. So I had a stepdad from that point on all the way to right now, because he's still here.
Right, well, rest in peace to Pops. Tell me about transitioning from having your dad to him passing away at such a young age. Was that a drastic change for you?
Being so young, right now, when I look back right now, I mean, I can't really tell you how I felt back then, because I really don't even remember. You know what I'm saying? Right. It really, it's like I only got vague memories.
Well, do you remember growing up and everybody else had a dad, and you knew that you were missing something? Did you ever feel like you were missing anything, or that you were maybe you felt cheated up? I mean, because I grew up without a dad, so I had a lot of those feelings.
I feel cheated now that I'm older. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And now, because me and him just had this conversation. This is crazy you bring this up. Me and my boy just had this conversation the other day, and I was telling him he should reach out to his dad, because I wish my dad was alive. Right. If he was, I would do anything I can to at least try to know him. You know what I'm saying?
You wouldn't understand that unless you lose yours.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't.
Yeah, because I say the same thing.
You wouldn't, because I'm like, I would do anything to go see him. I mean, even if he left when he was...
Yeah, as long as he didn't touch you or nothing crazy, you could fix it.
I just want to know, I would want to know why you left, because it's two sides to every story.
Right.
I'm going through stuff right now, with my baby mama, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I understand, so I would definitely reach out.
So you didn't feel cheated or anything like that until you grew older. But
I'm mad at him because he died with a needle in his arm. So yeah, when I got older, I'm like, man, you chose drugs over your kids.
Right. Chose drugs over love.
Yeah, that shit, made me raise. Luckily, I had a stepfather to step in. But
so how was that growing up with a stepfather?
It was good.
Did he still discipline you and whoop your ass like you were his?
He had my mama gave him the okay to do it, but he was real respectful with it. I mean, he maybe gave me a whooping maybe like twice my whole life.
Oh, okay.
But he was there to, he deserved that spot though.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I mean.
Well, that's good.
He deserved that.
Shout out to him.
He raised me. He took me from washing dishes to just doing the backyard. Type shit. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, I respect my stepfather.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
100%.
And what kind of kid were you growing up in Oakland with the stepfather, with your parents around and stuff?
Bad as hell.
What kind of shit were you into? Were you into like sports, girls? You were the nerd? You was on the corner? You was into gang banging? What kind of kid was that?
I started off playing baseball. We used to play a strikeout in the backyard in the Dubs. I used to be on 2-4 with all my friends, all the same niggas who I used to be selling drugs, turned out ended up selling drugs, but later on, like, we we was back there playing strikeout first in the backyard, so we used to do that first, and then my brother was in the game real tough, you know what I'm saying, and, watching him move, all his movements, and watching the guys that, cause we stayed right, I stayed on 24th and East 16th, and that's where I'm from, so watching all the guys that came before me, all the fancy cars and all that, I kind of veered towards that, left baseball alone and started hustling in the streets.
So you were influenced by your surroundings?
By my brother and my surroundings, yeah.
Yeah, so how did that make you feel, knowing that you had a love for baseball or a sport or something that was possibly a positive way,
good.
And then you just, kind of found your way gravitating towards the streets instead? You didn't notice that going on, or you just accepted it, embraced it?
I was young, and I was a follower.
You were influenced.
We're just gonna call it what it is. I was young, and I was a follower, and they was doing this, and I wanted to be like them, and I just was a follower.
What was it that appealed to you?
The money that they was having, the dice games they used to see them, the girls they used to see, the cars they used to see. They had it all. Whatever you wanted, you look.
So would it be safe to say the hustlers in the neighborhood were kind of like the ones people looked up to?
Yeah, they was, and they wasn't no bad people. They helped us. Like, they had me. I remember we used to have to walk down the jacket box for them and buy them some food and get them to keep the change and stuff. Walking back instead of they French fries on my way back.
Right.
You ate some of my fries, but you ate some. Oh, I did. That's all they gave me.
Right.
Yeah.
So they were good people. What they were doing, like, who are you to judge? And then the next thing you know, well, it's not so bad. And then the next thing you know, I think I could do that. And the next thing you know, you just in it. Full fledged. Now, usually that only leads to one or two things.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we see you're still here with us, so
yeah.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you ran into some problems.
You already know. I done been listening. I went to jail when I was like 14, 15 years old, and been in and out all the way till I was like 37 years old. I'm talking about I couldn't get a break, to the point where my mama was like, "You live in jail and you come home to visit."
So it was a revolving door.
That's what she told me.
That's what she told you.
She told me that day. And it hurt my feelings, and I just now started thinking like I got kids out here, man. You can't keep going back and forth to jail.
What do you think was the main cause for that revolving door? Because let's be honest, we could blame it on a lot of shit. Very rarely do you ever hear somebody say, "It was me, I'm the one that did it." Was it the circumstances of once you go in, you got a record and it's hard to get a job, or was it your surroundings, or was it that you just wanted back in the game? What do you think it was that led to you keep going in and out of jail?
Being a follower. It's just simple. Like you can learn from other people's mistakes, but I chose to try to go and follow these dudes and that's
right.
Being a follower is all it was. Because right now you couldn't pay me to have none of the shit that I was doing back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think for myself now, but then I was following, and I was letting other people lead, and that's what it was.
So obviously you're not that type of person now.
Mm-hmm.
You're not easily influenced. If anything, I see you influencing others.
That's it.
What do you think it was that had you changed your mentality from being influenced to turning around and becoming an influencer?
Watching how letting other people lead me was turning me out. Like I'm ending up in jail constantly. I need to change up and do something else and think for myself. You know what I'm saying? So that in and out of jail and my kids, the main thing that hit me the most was you can't keep going to jail on your kids. You go to jail, they depending on you, you end up in jail, and then now bam, what happens to the kids?
Yeah.
And that was what made me say, Tay, you better start thinking for yourself and stop running with, doing whatever everybody else doing.
So pretty much life is what did it. Life just hitting you in the head and being like, bam, look, you want to see these kids? You can't see them from behind the walls.
Can't do it.
So, thankfully you made these changes. Along the way, there had to be some kind of love or affinity for music. What's your earliest memory of falling in love with music?
My brother used to be one of the Fat Boys. I can remember when the Fat Boys' first video came out, and I came home. This is what made me fall in love. I come home. I'm real little. I think maybe like 7 or 8 years old. I'm young. You know what I'm saying? Before my brother passed, and me and my mom walk in the house. When we walk in the house, he like, Yo, look at this, look at these dudes, look woo woo. He was so pumped up, you know what I'm saying? And he had us sit down and we watched the video. And, excuse me, and it was the Fat Boys, and they started going, and I was stuck after that. I thought I could rap after that.
So the Fat Boys is what got you?
My brother really, his excitement.
So it wasn't NWA, fuck the police. Mm-hmm. It wasn't no Too Short pimping. It was the Fat Boys.
Fat Boys, man. That was the first thing I ever seen.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And you got some family in music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about your family in music.
I got Eddie Projects, aka Eddie Penthouse. That's my brother. He been married to my sister for they've been married like 20-something years now, you know what I'm saying?
Family.
Yeah, that's my brother, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then you got Raven Justice. That's my stepdad's daughter's son, you know what I'm saying? So that's my nephew. Seen him come up out his mama womb. I know he don't want me to say that, but
right.
I saw you. You know what I'm saying? I was there, you know what I mean? And then you got Pedro Classic. That's my brother. I usually wear his piece, but for some reason I walked out without it. But that's his brother. That's his son, and that's my mama's son. That's my big brother who I idolize. Yeah, and then, who else? I just said just them three right now. I can think of.
Right. So, what do you see or see them do, or how is that influencing family members that are also doing this music? How do you learn from what you see them do and apply it to your own strategy?
I just watch all their movements. I watch how they hold the mic. I watch how their videos are. I listen to their music. I listen to their wordplay. You know what I'm saying? I study everything, right. Especially Eddie P. And then especially Eddie P. And then Raven Justice. I was at his house one day, and when he see this, he gonna remember. I was at his mama's house, and he pulled up over there. And we were sitting at a table, and he was telling us, he was like, you know, this before I started rapping, actually doing it. He was like, man, he had a bunch of people. He's like, man, you never know if you like it or not. Won't you just try rapping? Y'all just try. Y'all sitting around here, we rapping because we was rapping at the table and doing our little song. He was like, just try it, man. He influenced us all to, you know, to go ahead.
Encouragement.
Yeah. After he did that, I went and bought me a studio and all that and started recording and doing that. He don't even know that yet. I don't even think he know that yet. But he really the one reason why I just said, all right, let me do it. Because he told me, man, go ahead and do it.
All right. So your family's been a positive influence either by visualizing and learning from them or actually speaking to them in person.
Yeah.
You kind of mentioned it that when he said this, you weren't doing music. So how long ago did you actually start doing music?
When I was, I'm going to say like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago is when I actually started recording and
taking it serious.
Yeah, started, you know what I'm saying, taking it a little serious.
So why the late start?
Honestly, I was in and out of jail my whole life, and I didn't really have no confidence. You know what I'm saying? I had no money. I was in and out of jail. I had no confidence. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, as soon as I got a little money together, you know, and you know, I'm a little older now, so my confidence is at its all-time high. So.
What was it about 2 years ago that made you want to start taking it serious?
I'm gonna die one day, and when I get 60 years old, 65 years old, I definitely don't want to be the type of person to be like, dang, I wish I would have tried it, man. At least I tried it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so because of the fact that you love music so much, and you thought about trying it, and you just never had, one day you were like, I'm actually just gonna do it.
Yeah, or I'm gonna regret it.
And you wouldn't be able to live with yourself having a regret like that.
No.
Have you found a struggle or any brick walls that you run up against having a disconnect with the younger crowd or the younger artists or the younger demographic? Because, you know, music is a young man's game.
Yeah, of course. When I run into some young, of course, it's a few young people that probably ain't gonna dig my music. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
For the most part, we're gonna keep it real. I ain't really been getting too many bad reviews. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the reviews I've been getting from people is, you sound like you from down south. You don't sound like no baby.
That's not a bad review.
But that's the only reviews I've been getting.
Yeah.
That's it.
No,
I'm not. Bad even told me one day, he was like, bro, you go hard. And I'm like, I thought he was on some bullshit, you know, just talking, you know. And then the next day, I pulled up on him again. The nigga rapped a few of my bars. Like, he's like, nah, he's like, bro, I was serious when I told you you went hard. Shout out Fab though.
You talking about Mr. Fab?
Yeah.
Oakland.
I was like, well, damn. Shit, he remembered a couple bars. They had me pumped though.
Well, yeah, you got good music. I didn't mean like that. I mean, you know, there's just, you were talking about it earlier before we started. That's why I brought it up. There's a disconnect between an older artist and a younger demographic, and usually it's the younger demographic that determines what's hot.
And that's the problem with my music. I have to figure out where I want to go. Do I want to try to get it with the youngsters, or do I want to just keep it on my level and try to get my fan base with the older folks and all that stuff that's been around for me that can appreciate, you know, heartfelt music and stuff like that. Because some of the youngsters, they don't want to hear about nobody need to be stuck in your world. They want to hear that shit. Then we talking about shoot 'em up, bang, bang, man. We talking about, you know what I mean? That type of shit.
Smoking ops.
Yeah, and I don't really want to rap like that too much. I'm too old for that.
You don't want to smoke ops.
So it's kind of got me in between on how I'm
finding a balance.
Yeah.
So that's part of discovering who you are as an artist, you know, and doing something for 2 years. You're still gonna find those ins and outs and those trials and tribulations to discover who you are. But I think you're doing a good job at it so far. I think you found a good balance of making good quality music, and not being afraid to show your experience, your life experience. Because to me, the best music that is made is a true life experience. Like I can listen to an artist and be like, I don't believe a word they're saying, or I can listen to an artist and be like, man, I believe everything. You know what I mean?
And I got some songs where you're going to listen to it and you're going to be like, yeah, I believe everything you said. Then I got some songs for them that you're going to be like, nigga, I don't believe none of that shit. I got some both of them songs.
Right.
But I try to do that for them and then try to have some for them.
Yeah.
So I be going back and forth with my music. So that's why you hear some drill shit and then you hear some I love you, baby, I love you type shit. You know
right. Just being diversified, just being able to show the depth that you could go to make quality music. It doesn't have to just be one lane. Go in that lane a little bit. Let's talk about another topic that's very important to you, like custody battles with children.
Oh, yeah.
I know this is a big thing in your life, a big campaign of yours, and I see we got the merch and everything. Speak on that a little bit, what you go through with the custody battles and why it's so important to
you. Because 7 years ago, when I was with my baby mama, I'm not gonna say her name, whatever, but I cheated on her. You know what I'm saying? So I can admit to that. I was wrong, right? But the problem is, now that we're not together and I cheated on her, she holds it against me. You know what I'm saying? And so she'll get to talking about, I can't see the kids. You know what I mean? And so
is it a situation where it didn't work out? You guys ended on bad terms or good terms?
We ended on bad because I cheated on her.
Okay, so you guys didn't work out, you ended on bad terms. And I don't know your situation, but I know sometimes when you don't end on good terms, the woman is what we call scorned.
She's very scorned.
And she uses every opportunity that she can get
to
hurt you back.
She kids on me because nothing else she can do hurts me. She knows that. Nothing else. She can talk shit. She can call me out my name. She can do whatever. She can pop. Nothing else gonna faze me. Only thing that fazes me is when she try to take my kids, and she knows that. That's why she does it. I went to the house with my signs up in the air talking about let that man see his kids, all kind of shit. Trying to had the police come, served her the paperwork, and then when we go to court yesterday, they tell me it was defective paperwork. So now I got to get lawyers involved because I see it not going to make it easy for me. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
It's crazy though that you can
How long you been battling this?
She just took the kids from me like 3 months ago. Like she just did that. Like I've been raising these kids. They've lived with me 2 different times. I've been, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing everything for these kids. Getting their hairs cut, their hair done. She ain't never did none of that. I did it all. And so it's just real hurtful that somebody gets so mad at somebody, you know, when because they did something, and they want to hurt that person so bad that they willing to hurt the kids. Like you want to hurt me that bad that you're willing to hurt the kids because she know the kids love me. She know how much the kids miss me. She know that the kids want to come to my house. I got other kids. They miss each other. They ask about each other all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She knows what she's doing. Yes, she's still doing it, and I feel like that's just very selfish.
And how do you think we can move on from being in situations like this?
I mean, when you get into a situation like this, the only thing you can do is go to court, you know, because what are you going to do? You don't want the kid.
I was hoping that you were raising awareness like this so that, you know, encourage a change.
That's
you know what I mean?
Exactly what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm trying to get it out there so all the brothers could come together.
Yeah.
And we could sit back.
The women too.
The women too. We want a lot of the women too, but the brothers, some of the brothers don't know, you know, what real parenting is. Like how you just sit right here and explain to your daughter, and you talk to your daughter real talk to her, and you picked her up in school, and she's with you right now. That's parenting. It ain't about just money. You know what I'm saying? And some brothers think that just give them, and then when you get child support, you put a brother in a situation where now I gotta pay child support, and then you don't want to miss out on all them fun times where you go take your kids to do stuff, so you still paying for that
paying
too.
Double.
Yeah, so it's like you getting a double whammy.
I think what we got to do, and this is your fight, not mine. I'm just verbalizing with you.
I'm listening.
I think that we need to encourage the women to be more supportive of the men that are doing good, because they're the ones that are going to call out the other women on the bullshit. As a man, if I call a woman out for being on bullshit, she's not going to care.
You're right, bro.
But as a woman, if she's calling out another woman,
shake your hand on that one. That's a good one right there, bro.
for sure.
That's a good one.
I think we gotta
target the women so they can talk to the other women.
Yeah,
right.
Women will be able to influence another woman.
I just said that about my lawyer, huh? I said I need a lawyer, a woman lawyer, so that she can talk to the women and get them to understand. I just said that about the lawyer. I don't know why they think about that with this campaign too.
Because think about all the supporters that like your music, right?
Yes.
At least half of them are women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if they were online talking about he needs to see his kids. That's going to be a bigger voice than if you got 20 male rappers that are on there talking about let that man see his kids.
Way bigger. So I need to make more female shirts. Okay,
it's not that more female shirt. I think they just need to be more supportive of your cause. They need to understand it, and the way to get them to be supportive is you might have to explain it to them, instances like this, or
I've talked to a couple women,
what I mean?
like we talking right now, sit down and talk to the women, and we talked and all that, and I had a few women that was down with the cause and understood what I was going through and didn't approve of it. So it's women out there that do support too. Yeah,
because half of the women don't get the support that you or I would give the woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how we want to be in our children's life?
Right.
Half of the women out there don't have a man that does that. So when they see somebody like you or I, they should be able to appreciate it, right? It's like if me and you ain't never had a woman that cooks, and we come across a woman that cooks, well, that's a bad woman right there. This one cooks. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I ain't never had a woman that, so it's gonna be more appealing.
I wish my baby mama thought like that. You know what I'm saying? Like appreciated that.
She probably does, bro. That's the sad thing. She probably does. She just scorns. If she's hurt, she's gonna hurt you. Hurt people, bro. So she got her feelings hurt, and that's the only way she has to hurt you back. It's not right, 1,000%. I'm just saying, I've seen it so much. I understand that thought process.
My son has Klinefelter's, bro. That is a disease. That is it's like almost like almost like Down syndrome, but not Down syndrome. It's only men get this disease. You know what I'm saying? It's a rare disease, and it's not.
What does it cause?
It just causes him to like he can't talk right now. You know what I'm saying? He's growing. His legs is longer than he's supposed to be. It's all kind of different stuff. You know what I'm saying?
It makes life difficult.
But he's a real normal boy. He just can't talk right now. He's just gonna be late on a lot of stuff. And then it can be difficulties with the insides of him and all that as he get older. And I just keep telling her that every moment that I have with my son, you need to let me have, because we don't know what is going to happen. They said as he get older, it gets worse.
Tomorrow ain't promised.
So why won't you let me, at least my son, my daughter, I love both of them, but you see what my son is going through. Yeah. Why you don't want me to be a part of his life? I had to sneak up and go up to a school to see them.
Man, I'll pray for you, man.
I went to that school, and that principal told me, we finna call her. I said, excuse me, lady, but you don't gotta call her nothing. I'm not taking the kids. I just want to come see my kids. I see my kids do woo, right? I explained my situation. Then I told her, there's no paperwork here saying that I can't see my kids. Right. Okay? So I know what class my kids is in, and if you make this difficult for me, I'm just going to go to their classes, get my kids out their class, and walk off, because not even a police can stop me, because there's no paperwork, and I know that now. Right. As long as you don't have no paperwork stating that she has custody, custody, and y'all got some stuff going in the courts, you have just as much rights as her. And most men don't know that.
Yeah, the rule is if there's not a paperwork trail saying you can't, You can.
You can.
Yeah.
Yes, and I know that now, but I didn't know that until
Right.
I started talking to people, and then I found it out. That's what made me go there to the school. Like, man, I'm not gonna tell
Right.
you can't tell me I can't see my kid.
Right.
The whole school know me here, so they gonna let me come see my kid.
Right.
So I go up there, but there's a new principal that she didn't know me, but everybody else did, and she checked it out and was like, yeah, you know what, you're right. I'm gonna get your kids. And she went and got my kids, and she let me see them, and I hugged them, and then. That was the last time I seen them.
But you let them go back to class.
Yeah, I let them go back to class.
Yeah.
I ain't take them.
Yeah.
They need their mother in their life.
Right.
Why would I want to take them from their mother? I just
Right.
want to be a part of their life. That's
Right.
it.
Shit. So you got the shirts because of that.
That's why the shirts was. I got the shirts saying "Let that man see his kids" because I really felt like a lot of men going through this. Like he did something wrong. She's mad at him, so now he can't see the kids. Like that's wrong. That's wrong. Like I mean, I can see it if he touched the kid, abusing the kid, or doing something like that. That's understandable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if this man is coming to pick up his kids, going to schools, going to doctor's appointments, getting you Ubers when you don't got a car, helping you get cars so that you don't be walking down streets, not for you, for the kids. You know, no matter what she thinks, it's for the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But all the things that I've done for her always been strictly for the kids. No matter if I bought her a car, because I have twice. No matter if I bought her a car, that was so my kids wouldn't walk. You get what I'm saying? That's
Absolutely.
it. So I don't get why she's doing this, but
That's just pretty much taking care of your family indirectly, even though it's through her.
yeah.
Yeah, you provided a car because, like you said, you wanted the kids to be taken
Sitting
care
there
of.
walking down East 14, down the whole stroll, you know, her and my kids walking down the street going to the store. And I'm like, oh, hell no.
Right. Right.
This is not, no. You know, at first I was being rebellious. I ain't buying you no
Yeah,
car.
yeah, yeah.
Gonna buy you no car.
There's
No.
stages, right? As when you go through it, there's stages of anger, and then you get sad, and then you finally find a resolution.
She ain't went there yet. She ain't thought she ain't thought that resolution
Yeah, she's still in the anger stage. It
yet.
sounds
Yeah,
like.
she won't come out of it for
Yeah.
nothing.
So where can they get the shirts at?
They can get it on. They can online at Tufote at my Gmail. at my Instagram.
Your Instagram is
Tufote
at.
510.
Okay, cool. And you got them in red, black, and white.
Yeah,
And
black
how
and
people
white.
been reacting to them?
You know what? They've been going pretty fast though. People, you know, like I say, I just tell people the story, and a lot of men, a lot of women been picking them up. I didn't have like about 100 of them. I think I'm down to like 20 of them left. So they be going.
Time to make another batch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Anything else you want to leave the Mars Radio supporters with?
I just want y'all to know, man.
Oh, my bad. Let's get into the new album you're working on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of these records that we've seen. I Try. Tell us about I Try. How did that come together?
My brother hit me up, Eddie Penthouse, and he was, you know, I've been wanting to do a song with my brother ever since he been doing music, since he was young. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
since we was kids. Like I said, he been with it for 20 years.
Yeah.
So I've been wanting to do music with him for the longest, but, you know, I was in and out of jail, never really had no time.
Right.
And we gonna just be honest, my bars probably wasn't up to par for him, you know, for him at that point, you know what I'm saying? But he been watching me lately, because that's what he told me. He been watching me. He been seeing how I've been moving. He been seeing that I've been staying active and consistent. And he was like, you know what I'm saying? He hit me up and he was just like, man, let's find us a beat.
Yeah.
So I just started looking for a beat, found one through Armani Beats. You know what I'm saying?
And he killed the hook.
I sent that song to him. He came to my house. Not this shit. I wasn't one take.
One take and he was done.
He came to my house, bro. Knocked that out in one take and was gone. Like I can't let me know when you finish. And then when I heard it, I say, oh my God, me and my breath say, oh yeah, he just snapped.
That's what's up. So that's the one that you just did the video for, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a nice one.
And then the video I saw before that, you had one with D-Lo and you had one with Stalin.
Yeah.
Tell us about those two records.
D-Lo and Stalin. A hooker boy called me one day about Stalin. He was like, man, you should get a birth from Stalin. That's my boy, man. I can call him woo. And I was just like, hell yeah, I want a birth. Call him. You know what I'm saying? So when he called Stalin a player, man, you know what I'm saying? He like, man, yeah, it's good. He gave me his price, whatever. And then I sent the song, you know what I'm saying? And he knocked that shit. That nigga knocked his shit out like this too.
Immediately.
It brought me back sent me back a hook and a verse, nigga, that was going crazy. I said, but I already had my verse already wrote, so I was happy that it matched his. Though otherwise, I'd have had to rewrite it all over because he came sick. And I'm like, good looking styling. And Jake,
that one's Flowers, right?
That's Flowers.
Okay.
And then D-Lo, Hook told me about it, and then I was just sitting back, you know, kicking back. And then my brother, and then my cousin Gerani hit me up and said, man, you should get D-Lo on there. And I'm like, once two people told me, I'm like, come on, let's do it. He is like one of the hottest niggas in the town. Might as well get him on there.
If it makes sense, it made sense.
Yeah, so I hit him up and it went from there. We did our thing. You know
so those 3 records right there are going on your project, right?
Yes, sir.
What's the name of the album?
24/7, man.
24/7 makes sense.
Working hard 24/7, man.
Makes sense. When can we expect that?
We're gonna put about a.
Still working on it.
Yeah, I'm still working.
Still working on
it. Date on that.
We about halfway through.
We damn near already through.
Oh,
I just
okay.
gotta put my album cover together and all that, and then put all my songs that I want in there, and then boom, from there. But he damn near done.
Pretty much just crossing the T's and dotting the I's, wrap it up 24/7. Okay,
Yes,
cool. And that'll be out on all platforms just like the rest of your music, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Probably more videos and stuff too.
I'm finna do one. I'm finna take somebody out to Minnesota because I got a heartfelt song that I need my grandma gravesite in Minnesota, and then I got a auntie that's passing from cancer. I need her video shot in Gary, Indiana, so I'm gonna take a trip out there and do it. This one's gonna be nice too, because I got a cameraman coming with me. We're about to do that in like 2 weeks.
That's what's up.
It's a big one right here for me.
And you still doing shows, concerts, and everything too?
Yep, I got a show coming up tonight. It's a little private thing, you know what I'm saying? Tonight, turn it up.
And then you about to turn up in the weekend. You going to Vegas?
Yep, and go out there.
And then Kansas City as well.
Kansas,
yeah, you on the road, man. Tell them about it. Let them
I'm
know.
going to Kansas. Look, I'm going on the 3rd, fucking with Stalin out there with the Bad Girls West Tag, and then I'm gonna shoot out to then I'm about to shoot out to Kansas, fuck with Stalin over there. We do a perform out there with him though, and then wherever this nigga got a performance that he allowed me to come, I'm coming. Period. I don't go fuck if it's in out of country. I'm coming. If I can get my passport.
Hey, Wichita, Kansas. Yeah. All right. Well, we just ended right there. It's 24 Tae with Mars Radio, and we out.